Hey everyone, it's Jordan Harry, founder of StudyFast and Corkscrew instructor. Now in this lesson, we're going to be looking at how to create engaging content for specifically your blogs. Now you might have a website, so I'll be showing you the benefits of creating an engaging blog for your website. And also, if you have a third-party platform such as Medium, why it's useful to be putting it onto these third-party platforms and how to utilize them. So let's take a look at what we'll be covering. So by the end, as always, you'll understand why, what, when, who, and how to engage people who follow your content most effectively by using blogs. But why is it important to have a blog in today's era? Well, blogs aren't dead. To the contrary of many people who say blogs are dead and no one reads them, they're simply not true. If you have an engaged following audience, they will take the time to read your blogs. And we'll get onto this argument of short and long form blogs in a moment. But for now, I want you to understand the value of having a blog. So why is creating a blog so important for your website? Well, first of all, SEO, that big word which we've all had junk mail from about what is SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. To put it into layman's terms, it's the rankings in Google. If you have good SEO, you come up first. If you have bad, you're on page 3. And no one wants to be on page 3. Now, SEO is a key thing for if you have a business and a website, because of course, if you type in business training, health and wealth management, gyms, you want to be the first thing that comes up when people are looking for these specific key words. We won't get into SEO too much, but the reason why a blog's important is because Google actually reads the keywords on your website. So by having a blog, you can hack it by chucking in gym in Exeter, blah, 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 blah. My health and wealth management careers advice, blah, 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 blah. Our career startup business school allows you to blah, blah, blah. So when people type in these words, if your website doesn't show up as the homepage, the blog link for your website will. And if you are using a third-party platform, I understand the SEO works a little bit differently, so I don't claim to be an expert in that. So I won't mention too much on that. But what you want to be able to do is position yourself in front of your target customer. By writing a blog, these keywords will make sure that you're pumped up Google because you've got a relevant term. Additionally, Google ranks your website based on the time spent on each page. So if you can imagine, if you don't have a blog on your website, people are just going to be clicking through, scanning all the words. If you have a blog, people will spend 2, 10, 25, even an hour reading some of your blogs. This shows to Google that people enjoy your content. Google want to get you in front of more people, so they're going to keep bumping you up. So it's a big thumbs up and a vote for you the longer people spend on your blog. Moving on to the next point, long versus short form content. This argument can go on all day, and unfortunately we don't have the time to cover it, and it's just me talking about it. I'm going to show you both sides. Long form content, as mentioned before, with SEO is fantastic because, as you can imagine, the more keywords you have in a blog, the more likely you'll show up in the search. The longer someone spends on your website reading your blog, especially if it's long, the higher you'll go in a search. Although, if you create short pieces of content, people are more likely to gain value in a short period of time and keep coming back and potentially share it. People have short attention spans now. We have so many distractions and so many things going on in our life, and we live in a society of instant gratification where we are used to being rewarded now instantaneously. We don't often want to read a blog for 20 minutes to get the takeaway message. A lot of the times, we want to be able to scroll to the bottom and see the key takeaway message and then move on to the next blog. I personally create short-form content, on my website. I also illustrate how long it will take for people to read it. Now, of course, I teach speed reading, so it has the relevancy there. But this just lets the reader know how long and what to expect from this blog post. So they almost have a get out of jail card before they even start. So I say 2 minutes to read to 3 minutes. Most of my blogs are. So they average between 500 to 700 words per blog, all with subheadings, and clearly illustrated points where they can take away key messages. Nothing too heavy, nothing too dense, full of value and little waffle. I found this to be effective with my target audience purely because these are people who are learning to speed read and want to be more effective with their time. However, if you go onto Medium, and if you use Medium, which is a company/platform where you can create your own blog page, you'll find that people have some incredibly long blog forms, 9 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. And these are the popular ones on Medium. So you can look at this and you can kind of gauge where the sweet spot is. To sum up, long form versus short form, I would say it's based on your analytics. Figure out what works well and what doesn't work well. And most importantly, experiment with the both to get a varied result. Next, hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are crucial. We come back to SEO again. When hyperlinking, for Google, you will get a thumbs up if people hyperlink back to your website from an external one. So if you write a blog for another company, let's say a company called Shoebox, and they hyperlink your website on theirs, you're going to get people who read that blog over to your website. And this allows them to get into your systems, into your funnels, and ultimately buy into you. Secondly, for Google, the bigger the company that link back to you, the better, because it's like a referral for a job. If a big CEO says, I trust this person, here's their CV, you're going to listen. And so Google see that when you are being referred from a company with good SEO, when they pass it on to you, Google are, well, these guys must be creditable. And so it helps your SEO score move up, meaning, once again, you come higher up in the search rankings. On top of that, many people make a business through affiliate marketing. So for example here, I've embedded a hyperlink to Trello. So this is a blog I wrote on Trello, and you guys can find it on the course as well. And there's a hyperlink to a specific affiliate link for myself, where if you sign up and use Trello, which is free, I get a free month of the pro version. It's fantastic. Now, of course, I'm not doing this as a business, and this just allows me to use the features. But people actually create a business through their blog by writing and reviewing products and then using our specific affiliate link so that when you click that link and they send you to that website, the company can track where you've come from, and the original source, so you, will get commission, maybe 20, 10% of the initial sale. This can be very lucrative if you're selling or reviewing monthly subscription products where the customer has to pay £7 a month to use the service, because then you get a cut each and every month. I won't go too much into that because once again, that's a lesson and course in itself. But this is why using hyperlinks are great for two reasons. Moving on, adding videos. This is something I personally haven't seen many people utilize. I feel like it's a secret gem that not many people realize that it is a great ninja tactic. We talked earlier in SEO about the time spent reading your blog. Now, Google can't exactly measure people's eyes movements and if they're actually reading it. Someone could leave your blog up on their tab, and if they leave it and go make a coffee, that will count. So Google can't measure if a person's actually reading it word to word. So the way I hack it, and I've seen some other people, and this is the thing, all these tactics I'm sharing with you, I haven't created and now passing on. These are things that I've learned from incredible mentors of mine, and they've taught me, and they've tested it, I've tested it. Some things work, some things don't. The things that work, I keep. So these videos, if you can imagine, if you've got a 3-minute video right at the beginning, just like myself, and they click play, they're now going to spend 4 minutes 34 on this page. This is fantastic. Even if they bother not to read the blog, I've locked them in for 4 minutes. And if they do then read the blog, that's an additional 2. These are different ways of just hacking that SEO to make sure your blog gets seen by more people. On top of that, not everyone wants to read. Some people enjoy listening, some people enjoy watching. So I'm hacking it from all different angles. They can play the video and read the blog. Maybe not effectively. In fact, as I teach it, I know they can't do it effectively. But it allows them to take it in the preferred means of learning, which leads on nicely to our final point. Other platforms. Understanding that your website is only one platform for you to share your blog. Medium is another, and it's probably one of the most popular platforms for you to actually create a blog. And I understand there's many others, including LinkedIn, where you can now use LinkedIn Publisher and publish your blog on there. This is great because not only will it link back to your website regarding whatever you sell, but it establishes yourself as the authority. I've mentioned in previous videos, if you want to be an expert in your field, you need to provide value. You need to help people for free and show them that you can do the job before they invest any money. Blogs are one of the best, if not the best way to do that. Now, of course, many objections around time is if you don't have time to create a blog. Now, admittedly, nor do I. There's 2 ways you can go about it. You can transcribe videos into written format and then edit that transcript and upload it as a blog. Or, if you're fortunate enough to have the financial resources, you can hire a copywriter, send them the video, as I do, and then they create a blog around the key points and then put it into their own words so the message is communicated differently but still has that same core principle. So if you don't have time to type one up, which of course you have to find time, but if you generally don't, you can use things like Trint and Rev, which I believe are really cost effective, ranging from £5 a month for X amount to outsourcing it to someone for £15 a month and creating an organic original piece. So take that into consideration. Now, the consequences, if you don't start doing a blog on your website, you will be missing a great opportunity. Not only for your SEO, but as I mentioned, to establish yourself as the authority and someone who can really offer value to others. You'd be foolish not to create a blog on your website, regardless of what you provide and sell, because some way or another, you can offer your opinion, your thoughts upon your industry in a written format, and even if that means transcribing one of your videos. So, your homework for the end of this lesson. After watching this, I want you to go find a blog. It doesn't have to be mine. It'd be great if you did. But go find a blog on Medium or from a successful entrepreneur that you want to follow, like Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, and start gaining inspiration. If you don't want to create a blog yourself, follow other people's. Gain value that way. Be inspired by what they do. And with time, you'll figure out how to create your own. That's all for now. Enjoy blogging, and I'll see you in the next lesson.